Hello everybody, Ragtag Saggy here, and welcome to the first bonus video of Metal Gear Solid 3, where I will be covering the boss fights again, mostly in non-lethal methods, so each video will be focused on a boss, and also just talk about a few things you can unlock and whatnot. First off in terms of secrets, let's try out the start of the game, as there is something you can do in the opening cinematic. Where the song Snake Eater plays. I'm curious if you're gonna notice any of the differences once it logs me in, because for some reason I'm not signed in. I don't know why it has to do that for this collection, but anyway, see if you can spot the difference while it syncs my okay.
What a thrill. Snake Eater. I'm searching and I'll melt into you. What a fear in my heart, but you're so supreme. I give my life, not for honor, but for you. In my time, there'll be no one else. Crime, it's the way I'd lie to you. I'm still in a dream, Snake Eater. Someday you go through the rain, and someday you'll feed on a tree frog. It's ordeal, the trial to survive for the day we see new light. I give my life, not for honor, but for you. In my time, there'll be no one else. Crime, it's the way I'd lie to you. I'm still in a dream, Snake Eater. I'm still in a dream, Snake Eater. Snake Eater.
So what do you thought of that? If you basically mess around with your controls during that cinematic, you get all that. So here you can actually do things. If you hold down, I think it's the fire trigger or the aim trigger, you can slow this down. Do the other trigger, you do this. If you hold, I think it's aim, you speed this up. You can change the color by clicking in the sticks. You can do all sorts of things. Now, after messing about, you will unlock a few, you will unlock something for beating the game. You will unlock Demo Theater, which will allow you to review any cutscene you've unlocked during a playthrough, which is pretty cool. Sadly, the Secret Theater cutscenes are not in here in the HD port, which is really sad, because those are really funny. If I have Metal Gear Solid Substance and I can find that, I'll try to show the cutscenes in a bonus video, but yeah, those are great. Also, I think this would have unlocked Snake vs. Monkey in Metal Gear Solid 3 in either version, but it's not in the HD port. Maybe if it's in the collection that's coming out shortly, I might be able to show that. So with this, let's load up our completed save file. Now, I have been playing a bit off screen, mainly to try and get to parts where I can record, but let's load up our completed save.
After the end of World War II, the world was split into two, East and West. This marked the beginning of the era called the Cold War.
So yeah, I'll cut to certain points of interest, because in this episode we're mainly going to be focusing on some of the bonuses.
Once we've confirmed the rescue, Sokolov, stand by at the recovery point.
So if you look up, you can actually see the Fox logo. I didn't realize it was on the parachute.
Pumped into the balloon to
Let's take a look at what we get in our backpack. So for completing the game, you get some few goodies. For beating the game, you will unlock the Patriot for your save file. Do note this is tied specifically to a completed save file, so you can't just start a new game and have the Patriot in your inventory. But basically, this is the gun that the boss uses. Sigurd does have something to say about it, so we'll eventually cut to him. But it has an infinite drum mag, so you can just open fire and never need to reload. Pretty much anything you point this gun at is going to die. This gun also does a lot of damage to bosses. The downside, if you use the gun at all, it does penalize your rank, so you cannot get the best rank while using it. Still, it is just a fun weapon to use. It's going around and gunning everything down. Next off is our camouflages. So we unlocked a few camouflages. We unlocked the DPM, especially effective against forest areas, and the frickin' Tarkin. I forget what their unlock requirements is. I forget if that's also tied to the Tsukanoko. Oh, and the Ashcam. Now, I believe Sigurd does not comment on these camos, sadly enough, so no viewing Sigurd's comments. But you also unlock various face paints. You unlock face paints of various different country flags, like Japan, the US, Germany, France. They don't provide you any tactical advantages, but hey, you can use them if there's a country on here that you like. And as you can guess, it can look silly in cutscenes. You also unlock green and brown. I forget what their unlock requirements is. But for delivering the Tatsunoko, you get the Infinity Face Paint. A paint with infinite power. And much like the game aim states, if you have this, your guns have unlimited ammo. Anything you use, guns, grenades, anything will have unlimited ammo when you have this face paint on. So it is worth getting the Tatsunoko, because this is how to unlock this game's version of infinite ammo. It's also nice seeing all the Japanese kanjis on Snake, which I think the kanji does stand for infinite. So, which is pretty cool. Now, in the HD version, you will unlock DLC camos. Sigurd sadly does not comment on these camos. But you get the Anubis camo, which I believe is based on the Anubis mech from the Stone of the Ender series. The Balak camo, which I don't know what this is supposed to be based on. The U-Tiger, which I believe is based on a real-world camo. Some of these camos are based on real-world camos that didn't make it in the game. Because the original Metal Gear Solid 3 had DLC support. if you, I think, use some kind of modem or something like that for your PS2. I think they can. I forget if they came in the package of Substance, and then the HD port just gives them to you the moment you beat the game. There's the camo, the camel, the doo-doo-doo-doo, the Igmod, which I don't know what camo this is supposed to be, or how you say that, the feast, the flower, which gives Snake a nice, flowery look. I kind of like it, actually. The grenade, which actually does have a purpose. If you wear this outfit, you get infinite grenades, so you'll never run out of grenades when you wear this camo. Some of these DLC camos actually do have additional effects to them, and aren't just there to either help with your camo decks in certain areas, or just to look nice. The mummy, which Snake is wrapped in bandages, which this DLC camo makes it so that way you take less damage from enemy attacks, so this could be good. If you're doing so yeah, you can take less damage from it. Sadly, you can't get it until you beat the game, and I think it's tied to the save file. You can't just start a new game and have these camos, I don't think. You unlock this camo, which I think is supposed to be good, like, for water. The rainbow camo, which looks very colorful, so if you want to show off your pride for Pride Month, there you go. I don't think that was the intent, but I can see people doing that. And, as you could probably guess, looks very silly in cutscenes. The rock camo, the Santa camo, which gives Snake a version of the Santa suit. Sadly, he does not get the white beard and cap, which I would really love to complete the look. But hey, if you want to run around as Santa Claus, there you go. Swamp, S-Wood, STEV, which I think is supposed to be like a Valentine's Day camo. Germany West, West Snake, and I think there's supposed to be another version of Germany West. I think there's supposed to be like another color. But yeah, those are all the DLCs. And for beating the game, you unlock the tuxedo, which looks pretty cool. The tuxedo's been in pretty much, I think, almost every Metal Gear Solid game, so you can generally unlock it. In some games, it's easier to unlock, while in other games, it's nearly impossible to unlock. Like in Metal Gear Solid Revengeance, I think you have to beat the game on the highest difficulty to get the tuxedo. The one downside with the tuxedo, one of the few downsides, you cannot wear face paint. So you cannot use the tuxedo and the infinite face paint, or any face paint for that matter. But if you want to run around James like James Bond, you can. Also, another downside about the tuxedo, you cannot use CQC. So your melee attacks do not count as CQC, and your weapons that normally can use CQC lose their CQC effect. So that is the one downside to it. Now, one thing I didn't know is that if you are smoking a cigarette and wearing the tuxedo, the boss actually has something to say.
Camouflage is an
I may need to call her a few times for one of these dialogues to trigger.
Visibility is... You can only... Snake.
What's up, boss?
Don't you what's up me. Just what do you think you're doing?
What do you mean?
What do I mean? What is that camouflage you're wearing?
Oh, this. What do you think?
Of all the...
Looks pretty good on me, doesn't it?
Are you out of your mind? You can't wear that in battle. It's like saying to the enemy, hey, here I am, shoot me.
Well, I'll admit it is a little on the flashy side.
Then why don't you...
But it does look good on me, doesn't it? You don't think so?
Listen, wise ass, camouflage isn't gonna do jack if it doesn't help you blend in with your surroundings.
Well, I think it looks good on me.
Fine. Wear whatever you want.
Thought you'd like it.
Are you smoking a cigar?
Uh-huh.
I don't approve of you smoking during a mission.
Hey, you used to smoke them.
Never mind what I did.
Oh.
But that being said, cigars can be useful in a number of different ways, like getting rid of leeches.
Did you say leeches?
Yes. If a leech clamps onto you, try pressing the lit end of a cigar into it. The leech should cringe and detach itself from you. If you try to yank it off by yourself, you run the risk of it leaving its teeth inside you. With the cigar method, you won't have that problem.
Fascinating.
And unlike a cigarette, a cigar burns slowly, so you can use it in place of a torch in dark places.
I never knew a cigar had so many different uses.
Now you know, but quit smoking them during the mission. Hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
So this is too fun conversation. I didn't know the boss commented on the cigarette. But yeah, now to show off a cutscene that you can get at if you chose I Like Metal Gear Solid 2. Ooh, so let's go back to the beginning of the game and see what happens if we chose I Like Metal Gear Solid 2 and see the differences. Yeah, if you pick Metal Gear Solid 2, you'll notice that Snake wears the mask, and there's a reason for this. Move a little forward.
Do you copy? You're already in enemy territory, and somebody might be listening in. From here on out, we'll be using code names to refer to each other. Your code name for this mission will be Naked Snake. I'll be referring to you as Snake from now on. You're not to mention your real name.
Snake?
What, you don't like snakes?
What do you mean?
Well, you've eaten one before, haven't you?
In survival training.
I'm glad to hear that.
I don't know if I'd ever order one in a restaurant, but...
Be careful, you might not have a choice.
What about you, Major? What should I call you?
Let's see. I'll be Tom. Call me Major Tom. Oh, and Snake.
Yeah,
The crew isn't watching anymore. You can take off the disguise now.
good idea. This isn't right. Time for the snake to shed his skin.
Yeah, so you get that if you picked I Like Metal Gear Solid 2. It's basically Kojima poking fun
This is
at people
Snake.
not liking
Kept you
Raiden
waiting,
from Metal
huh?
Gear Solid 2.
This will be a
He
sneak.
even says it's iconic, I kept you waiting.
Not be seen by the enemy. You must leave no
So
trace
now
of your
let's
presence.
cut
Is that
to
clear?
to the
This kind of
facility, because there's a
infiltration
few
is
things
the
you can
Fox
actually do
unit's
there.
Speciality.
So, one of the things you can do here, you'll notice that Ocelot is knocked out. Now, there was a rumor that I heard of that supposedly shooting Ocelot in the foot will make him wear bandages, but I've tested it and I could not get him to do it, to get the bandage to appear on his leg. So I don't know if this is true or not, but what if you hated Ocelot so much because of this game, or you hated him because of how he was in other games? And you just feel like wanting to end his life right here and then. Well,
Snake, what have you done? You changed the future. You've created a time paradox.
so yeah, the Colonel from Metal Gear Solid 1 and 2 will go off at you for killing Ocelot. Because Ocelot plays such an important role into the Metal Gear Solid series, killing him basically makes it that way that the Metal Gear Solid series practically never happens. And if you wait long enough, this will be spelt out. Also, if you do this, you get an achievement called, well, series over. Because, yeah, Ocelot is so important to the series that, yeah, without him, there is no Metal Gear Solid series. So, yeah, that achievement, I believe, was added in, I believe, the HD port of this game. And which is what I'm playing. And you get Time Paradox. So there's a funny little cheeky thing there that Kojima knew that a lot of people would probably try to kill Ocelot. Just for the hell of it. Like, oh, you gave me so much trouble in the series, I'm just gonna end you here and now. And yeah, he put in this to basically troll people. But this is not the only instance that Time Paradox can appear. As if we can see... Okay, so another instance that you can do is that you know where Sokolov is. He is in this room. You can actually mess with him while he's in this room. Stars, if you shoot your gun,
Stop.
he'll freak out. If you throw a snake in there, which apparently I absolutely suck at aiming. Let's try that again, shall we? If you throw a snake in the room, come on, I know it is doable. I've seen people do this. If you throw a snake into the room,
Get off me, get off me.
he'll also freak out. A gift from Santa. I also have one more gift for you, Sokolov. Have a grenade.
Snake, what have you done? You've changed the future. You've created a time paradox.
So another instance where you can create a time paradox, because you killed Sokolov, you had no reason to ever be here. Volgin would never get his hands on the Sokolov, on the Shagohod, or at least not the completed version of it anyway. And this would also imply that the productions of Metal Gears would never happen, as the Shagohod was the catalyst of the Metal Gear production. So yeah, this is another fun little thing. Now, a few more things before we end this bonus video off. There's one thing in a first-person view that I completely forgot about. And then we'll hear what Sigurd has to say about the Tuxedo and the Patriot gun.
The Russians going to be helping us?
The KGB has promised...
So in this cutscene, if you look up,
communications
you can see a picture of
can talk to each other.
Yuma Kechi. I believe she is one of the few
also
famous
put us in
Japanese
touch with
pop
Catholic
idols,
insiders.
or whatever.
Insiders?
Kojima really loves putting
There was a
famous
defection
Japanese
in September
idols in his games.
1960. Do you remember it?
Okay, so when you're in the Snake Eater mission and you have access to Sigurd, Sigurd will comment on the Patriot gun and the Tuxedo.
Yo!
I just need to get the conversation where he is willing to talk about them.
Sounds like the Cobra. The Davy Croc. Using the Patriot, huh?
Yeah, it's the same one the boss was using.
Where'd you get it? I said, where'd you get it?
Sigint, don't get worked up over details.
What? Whatever. Anyway, the Patriot is a one-of-a-kind sidearm made especially for the boss. It's basically an XM16E1 with the barrel cut short and the stock taken off. The idea was to create a large pistol that combined the feel and quick handling of a handgun with the force of a rifle. But with a barrel that short, the recoil is unbelievable. It's tough to aim, but it more than makes up for it in firepower. From the looks of it, it's fitted with a 100-round drum magazine. And it never runs out of ammo?
Never.
Why is that?
Because the internal feed mechanism is shaped like an infinity symbol.
Ah, I get it. Yep, that'll give you unlimited ammo.
First off, I love how Sigurd asks, where did you get it? Because it's supposed to be the gun the boss uses in our final boss. Oh, sorry, and Snake's like, yeah, don't worry about the details. And then, yeah, I also love their in-universe reason for why the gun gives you infinite ammo. It's because the magazine is shaped as an infinity symbol. So it gives you infinite ammo. That is stupid but silly. I doubt if you put a drum mag on a gun with in the shape of an infinity symbol, it would give you infinite ammo. Now let's try and get the conversation about the tuxedo.
Snake, what are you wearing now?
Tuxedo?
What, you late for a wedding or something? Come to think about it, the tuxedo is an all-black outfit. It'll probably help you blend in a dark environment. One thing you can't do, though, is equip knife-type weapons. And you can't use CQC either. Remember that.
Yeah, so that's your information about the tuxedo. So I think we'll end this bonus video here, and in the next bonus video, we will go and face Ocelot, the first boss, and do a non-lethal takedown of him, as well as also mention any secrets I didn't mention about his boss fight earlier. So, if you enjoyed this bonus video, do you like the videos? It helps tremendously. Subscribe if you haven't already. Leave a comment down below in your thoughts on this episode, and share the video so more people can discover my content and help the channel grow. Oh, and I'll see you for the next bonus video. Later.